Historically speaking, our guest speaker today is a relative newcomer to West Salem. This is evidenced by the fact that the senior class chosen to be today's speaker is quickly become a fixture at WSHS. Ryan Nelson is a member of our social studies department and is the primary lead with the Senior Extra Project. As a result, he sees practically every one of our seniors every day of the week, all year long. You guys still want to hear one more time. Ryan is also the advisor of our diversity club, which has become increasingly involved throughout the school year, spreading the message of acceptance and tolerance. Ryan is one of those special people who will volunteer to do whatever it takes in the name of what's best for kids. He is full of ideas, compassion, and, well, I guess I need to say, along with Cameron and Kyle, he has kind of distinguished himself a little bit for his humorous side this year. Quite honestly, when I first learned that all three of them were going to be on stage at the same time, I kind of feared for Ryan myself. But Ryan, as you know, we do have Mr. Gunderson and the school board on the stage with you, as well as Mike. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ryan Nelson.
True compassion means not only feeling another's pain, but being moved to help relieve it. Daniel Goldman. To the school staff, families, and friends in attendance, thank you for taking the educational journey with these graduates. To the class of 2015, congratulations. You have come a long way, but not half as far as you will go. This month is significant for you and for me as I celebrate the 10th anniversary of my high school graduation. It wasn't long ago that I was in your shoes, but much has changed since then, as you helped me realize this year. We have made some tremendous connections, developed great rapport, and yes, carried out some crazy pranks. Above all, though, I hope you have learned to be compassionate. Compassion was on display at a youth leadership conference I attended last month. As I listened to one of the conference leaders share his life story. He talked about the snooze button. How many of you have hit the snooze button? He didn't talk about hitting the snooze button in the literal sense, though. He talked about hitting the snooze button on life, on compassion. He talked about letting moments slip by, time tick away, deeds go undone, pain go unhealed, and hate go unmeasured. He talked about standing up for what's right, before it's too late. Every morning, you have two choices. Hit snooze or get up. In life, you have two choices. Hit snooze or stand up. When you see disrespect, do you hit snooze, thinking you'll do something about it later? Or do you stand up and be compassionate? I'm going to share a story about an innocent boy who was knocked down while no one stood up. A story about when people hit snooze. This boy liked middle school and the expanded freedom it provided. That is, until one day, another boy grabbed his winter hat and threw it down the stairwell from 3rd floor to 1st floor. As the embarrassed and belittled boy trudged down the stairs to get his hat, he passed several people who saw what happened. No one stood up. School all of a sudden wasn't fun for the boy anymore. That same boy absolutely loved middle school woodshop. He was passionate about it. That is, until one day, a boy pushed him off his stool because he thought it'd be funny. Several people saw this. No one stood up. Woodshop wasn't fun for the boy anymore. The boy also loved middle school PE class. Playing sports was fun for him. That is until one day a boy kicked him on purpose. It hurt his stomach and his heart. Several people saw this. No one stood up. PE class wasn't fun for the boy anymore. The boy didn't understand how people could be so mean. He didn't understand why everyone hit snooze. High school was not much different for this boy. His parents bought him a brand new letter jacket on which he was excited to display the academic letter he had worked so hard to earn. He was so proud. That is, until he walked to his locker and a bunch of athletes pointed and laughed. They said he was not worthy of wearing a letter jacket. Not worthy. Several people saw this. No one stood up. Worse, the bystanders laughed. The boy didn't wear the coat anymore, and he avoided that hallway. The boy's parents also bought him new shoes, which he wore proudly to school. It wasn't often that the boy wore new shoes, so he was excited. That is, until an upperclassman pointed at them and laughed. "Really?" he said demeaningly. Several people saw this. No one stood up. The boy didn't wear the shoes anymore. A new girl joined the boy's class midway through high school. He really liked her. She was really pretty. He was a shy kid, so talking to new people was out of his comfort zone. However, he worked up the courage to talk to her one day. She asked who he was. He told her his name, but she said, "No, who do you think you are?" And she walked away. Who do you think you are? Several people saw this. No one stood up. And the boy went back into his shell. The boy in all of these stories was me. I was knocked down more times than I can count. People hit snooze on me more times than I cared to remember. I reflected quite a bit my senior year. I decided that I had two choices. Hit the snooze button and continue to be bullied, or stand up and effect change. I stood up. I set out to make a difference. I became a teacher. I wasn't going to be defined by my past. I was going to define my future. By staying true to the me I'd always known, I had the peace of mind in knowing that all of the name-calling, the doubting, the bullying, all of it was just noise. And the noise of my critics did not define me. Bullying has no age limit, no GPS. It can take place in high school, in college, or even in the workplace, at the grocery store, at the gas station, or at the park. I challenge you, be an upstander, not a bystander. Disable the snooze button of life. Many of you already have. I think about the students who immediately reported a hate-filled Twitter page first semester, which caused it to be taken down right away. You saw something, you did something. I think about those of you who reported a student with special needs being bullied on Twitter this spring. The student behind that Twitter page dealt with the consequences. You saw something, you did something. I think about the student who started the Love Bomb Squad at the elementary school to reduce bullying and promote compassion. You saw something, you did something. I think about the student who taught young girls her passionate and personal message of self-worth and body image. You saw something, you did something. I think about the countless others of you who affected change this year. Many of you saw something, many of you did something. All of you can do something. Your self-worth is defined not by getting knocked down, but by getting back up. Your self-worth is defined not by having your hat thrown, but by catching others before they fall. Your self-worth is defined not by the shoes you wear, but by the path you blaze. Your self-worth is defined not by the coat you wear, but by the warmth you provide. Your self-worth is defined not by how much money you make, but by how much of you give back. Your self-worth is defined not by being rejected by someone, but by accepting everyone. Your self-worth is defined not by how others treat you, but by how you treat others. In my senior yearbook, one of my friends disabled the snooze button, saying, "Ryan, you're an amazingly intelligent, creative, and understanding person. Even if it's just a simple hello, you know how to make a person smile. You'll be someone I remember as making my year a little easier. Thank you for everything. You have a lot of potential, so make something wonderful of yourself." Class of 2015, make something wonderful of yourself. Define your future, make a difference, stand up. Thank you.
But now for the moment that we're all been waiting for.